What's up, everybody? I am IFBB Pro Dorian Haywood, and welcome into my house, welcome into my kitchen. I want to show you how to make some meal prep stuff. I'm getting ready to go to work and I need a couple meals, so I'm going to show you how to do something kind of quick and easy. I think proteins are kind of like the base and foundation for every meal you need. I'm going to be cooking up some grass-fed ground beef today, and I'm going to show you how I go about my process of cooking it. I think when you're cooking beef, you got to cook it just right. If it's not a little bit pink, you've overcooked it. I'm going to show you how to kind of like perfect the process of cooking it just to the right temperature. So here we go. I got some organic grass-fed beef from Whole Foods. Now, grass-fed beef's important because what you feed the animal is going to kind of determine the nature of the fats that they have on them. You want a higher content of omega-3s. Those are your anti-inflammatory fats. Generally, animals that are fed corn and grains, they're going to be producing more omega-6 fats, which are inflammatory and not good for us, not good for our overall health, not good for our physiques. So grass-fed is kind of the way to go. Let's cook it up. I got a pan hot and it's on medium. So I think that's a big key. If you put the pan, if you don't let the pan warm up, you're not going to get that sear right off the bat. And sometimes that will release fluids from the meat and make it not as good. So as soon as this pan is hot, you want to hit that, let me say it like this. When the beef hits the pan, you want to hear the tss, like that. Now I've got a whole organized cabinet of flavoring. Not so organized, that's a joke. But I always flavor with something. Sometimes salt and pepper is all it needs. Today I'm going to use this Memphis seasoning. Put a little bit of that on top. Now here's the key. You got to work it in. So I'm just going to start to work the seasoning into the meat. I'll fold it over a few times. Then I'll flatten it out so it can cook nice and evenly. So I'm doing a lot of chopping. I'm just doing my best I can to get all that seasoning evenly distributed throughout the meat. Then once I feel everything's kind of consistent, I'm going to flatten this beef out. There's other ways to do this, but this is my method. I want to share my thing with you because I'm all about simplifying things and making the process easy. And the man behind the camera is Alex, and he was looking at my process and how I was doing things today. And as I'm getting ready to put my meals together, he saw me pull my whole pot of rice out of the fridge. He goes, "Oh, I never thought about putting the pot in the fridge before. That's my rice pot, and just by leaving it in there, that's one more dish I don't have to dirty up if I was to put it in Tupperware, then put it in there." So once again, I'm trying to show you how to simplify the process, make this easy for you to do consistently. Alright, so that's pretty good. And I'm going to let that cook. While I'm letting that cook, I'm going to break out a couple Tupperwares. Okay, I'm going to show you something, and you might think this is kind of weird, but that's okay. Weird works sometimes. So I'm going to proportion out about 8 to 10 ounces of rice. Now, I've had plenty of clients in the past being like, "Oh my God, it's so hard to eat all this food. You got all this rice on my meal plan, it's so hard to eat." And I bet if you eat the rice just like this and you try to eat it all, it's not going to be as tasty as what I'm about to show you. So this is my little trick to kind of make things a little easier to eat. So once I got my 8 to 10 ounces of rice in there, here we go with, got some organic strawberry preserves I got from Costco. I'm going to take a heaping tablespoon of this, probably more like 3 tablespoons. Throw that right on top. Now this just makes it tasty and palatable and easy to eat. Plus, where I am right now, I mean, if I was dieting and cutting down for a show, I wouldn't be doing this. But I'm trying to get in about as many calories as I can, and it's a real chore to eat this much calories every single day. So this is a little diet hack that I have. So once I got some of this preserves kind of like mixed out through the rice, I'm gonna top it with a little bit more antioxidant content. I think it's important to keeping your body healthy too. I mean, you're getting some antioxidants associated with the strawberry preserves. And to me, blueberries is one of my very favorite things to eat. It's one of the best things on earth in terms of something that's going to give you some ORAC value and some antioxidant content. Alright, so there's my carbs. They're pretty much ready. Now I'm kind of looking at the beef, and you can see it's starting to brown through a little bit. I'm going to give it just a little bit more time here before I start to flip it over. Now flip it like a pancake, just so I can keep it flat so it can cook consistently. We'll flip that in just a second. Okay, so this beef's about halfway done, I can tell. As it's starting to brown through, the meat's starting to sweat and kind of let the pink fluid run through the top of it. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to bring it over here to the sink and flip it so I don't make a mess. Good to go. And you can see this side's kind of browned and seared. This is how I know I've cooked it long enough. If it was kind of brown and didn't have that crusty stuff, I wish I would have let it sit a little bit longer before I flip, but this is perfect. Now this is an 85-15 fat content to protein content ratio. So this is kind of fatty, and I'm starting to see some oil starting to really collect. So even though that's healthier fat than you would get from like a grain-fed beef, I'm going to still drain some of this fat off. And I got an old glutathione bottle I'm going to try to drain it into, just so it doesn't mess up my sink. Now this side's not going to take quite as long. We're about a minute away and it's going to be done. Now I did this whole meal prep. I made those 2 meals under 10 minutes. This is like 8 minutes to get like 2 solid meals. And I could have cooked more. We could have made 5 or 6 meals and it wouldn't take much longer. I'm checking my beef. Sometimes I'll just chop through the middle and I'll kind of see the color. And what I'm looking for is that pink. And you can see we're almost to the point where that pink's going away. I'm going to cut off the heat. Now, just because you cut off the heat, that doesn't mean the meat's done cooking. I'm going to set it here and bring it to the side and just kind of let it cool down. I'm actually going to get this in the container as fast as I can so it doesn't cook anymore. So, let me go ahead and put this together so you know what it looks like. So this was a 1 pound block of meat. And you know, that kind of reduces down a little bit as you cook. You saw I drained off some of the fat and water. So this is probably 12, 13 ounces total. So I'm getting about 8 ounces per each one of these meals. Maybe a little less, more like 7. All right. I think that's good to go. Sometimes I would add some barbecue sauce, but that Memphis seasoning is really good. So I'm just going to cap these up and take them to work with me, and I'm set up for success. So I hope you guys took a little bit of the tricks and tips I've given you and how to prepare this stuff, and you can use it on your own. Please check out my YouTube page. I want you to like and subscribe, and give me some comments if you can. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be looking forward to sending you some more videos here very soon. Take care, everybody.